Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fate of Aeothar. Previously, the party had made it back to Wintervale. With time to spare before the coming battle, Talia got in touch with her estranged girlfriend and discovered she was an operative for the mercenary group that is hunting them, the Hydra's Head. The two necromancers, Rivka and Adin, who commandeered Tony and Durgat's body, found one of the rival necromancers responsible for trapping them in the soul gem and performed the soul-swapping ritual, with Rivka getting the new body and Adin going back into the gem so that Tony and Durgat could re-inhabit their old bodies. They came out groggy and hazy and not realizing the time lost or what happened, and are surprised to find themselves in Wintervale. Durgat checks in on their mom, who they had sent a letter to warning of the coming conflict before departing Vudar, and find that their mom and her butler Eckhart have indeed left Wintervale to the capital of Stone Grove. Moss finally gets some clothing to better blend in with the people around him, and the group go to see the enchanter Urimir, who delivered the black pearls he had requested from Vudar. Joining them for a night of celebration at the tavern afterward, where late into the night they retire back to their rooms at the tavern, and that's where we'll pick up.
Hooray.
Quick pause. You'll have to do a quick edit here. Corin, you are echoing a little bit.
I am.
see.
I don't know, like if you're pushing out through your webcam again or whatever.
Your webcam.
We're getting that echo.
Huh. That's strange because I know for a fact that I am using my my Shure Digital right now.
Although we're definitely getting the echo, so whatever you gotta fix for it.
Let me try this.
Whenever we jump in, we'll do like 3 seconds of just like nothing, and then
dead
like,
air.
You know.
I'll do a count, and it's fine.
How's that?
Mike, do some monologuing real quick.
Okay. So, the villain
Louder.
monologues. The villain monologues his
Nah, we're all good.
villainy monologue.
You're good.
You've beaten me today, good doers. But I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Time gadget.
It's so good.
That was
Right.
weirdly attractive.
It's one of the few ones.
Pixel, you have a boyfriend?
Yes, I know.
Pixel's boyfriend is Claw from Inspector Gadget.
Leave my boyfriend alone. My boyfriend's the best.
Alright, are we ready
The best
to
at catching
continue then?
Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, okay, we should probably continue now that
Yeah,
we've run.
let's keep going
Yeah.
before
Right on the
we
stage.
rail up
Come
again.
We're rolling.
Just give another like and where would you like to do or something like that, whatever. Alright, 3, 2, 1, dead air.
It is the next morning. Those who drank heavily the night before, I need you all to roll con saves, please.
Oh, come on.
Oh, that's
really?
definitely me. Moss, cured me of my alcoholism. I mean, my drunkenness.
That is true.
I'm
So,
just
do I
gonna
still
roll.
make the save?
No, you're fine.
Oh, God.
Nice.
I make with advantage against poison.
Okay,
22.
22. Okay.
Oh, come on.
Talia.
Okay, so I'm feeling
Good.
like shit.
Yeah, Talia, you are so hungover, it's ridiculous.
That's what you get for trying to drink with a fucking robot.
I was asked to.
The light from the morning coming in through the window and hitting your eyes is just blinding, and your head is pounding extremely
That's
hard.
amazing.
She just turns over and says, "Fuck that. Fuck
And
this. No."
as soon as you move, like you feel like that little sickness in the pit of your stomach begin to rise up.
She goes to throw up.
Is that? Can I ask you? Is
Oh,
everyone else up by now?
Boss doesn't sleep, so.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I
Probably
would
just
say.
I
takes like another. I don't
In
know,
that
Talia probably.
case,
I probably am awake because I went to sleep early.
I am also probably awake. And Harjada's gonna do something a little in character. He's going to go around and knock on everyone's doors. To
Really?
wake up.
my guy.
Really? Talia's just like opens the fucking door, and with pillow in her hand, smacks it at Hardrada and slams the door shut. She's not coming out for
Tony
another
is
30
also
minutes.
stood at this door for reference. Just kind of stood there next to her, drowning silently. Oh,
Like,
okay. I see.
Stairs and slams the door shut. Doesn't come downstairs for another 30 minutes or so.
And
Tony's gonna give another knock.
Spaz
No!
Spaz is like laying on your bed, like still like under all the covers and stuff. There's just this giant mound like under this mountain of covers.
It's like, no, I'm not feeling well.
I say I have anti-hangover stuff.
That's why we're here.
She opens the door. You do?
Yes.
Give
We
me.
bought enough for like 3 weeks of drinking.
Give me.
Okay.
Please.
I
Please.
give it to
I drink it.
to Talia.
Okay.
I drink it.
And the taste is not great. It's very earthy and like spicy tasting. And as soon as
Yummy
you,
dirt.
yeah, as soon as you drink it, like you feel the sickness in your stomach start to subside very slowly, and your head kind of clear up a little bit, and yeah, it seems like it's slowly helping.
Thank you, guys. Now she's coming downstairs. Sorry for slamming
Breakfast
the door on you.
time.
Hadrada, was that your last vial of hangover away juice?
Yes.
I'm gonna preemptively give Hadrada my other hangover away juice.
How much?
Well, I have 2, so you're having 1. You have another vial.
And the time is roughly about 9 in the morning.
Nice.
Talia would just like to scan the tavern to see if she notices anyone familiar, maybe just
Moss is at
to
one
be
of the tables
sure.
reading a book.
Oh,
anyone
obviously.
familiar who's not the party. Just to be sure.
So at this point, the tavern is fairly empty. There's like a few people who have drinking the night before and then kind of passed out like in the spot they were sitting or like laying out on one of the benches. All of you seem to be the only ones who are awake and moving around and kind of getting ready for the day. Everyone else is kind of still in a drunken stupor.
Okay, good. Well, I can never be too careful, I guess.
You all start coming downstairs, and Moss just looks up from his book and waves.
There's like
Oh,
little-
I'll go sit right
Good
next to Moss.
morning. Yeah, I'll also sit with Moss.
Heaviest
like
drinker of the night and the first one awake.
It's fairly dark in the tavern right now, but there's like the shafts of sunlight coming in through the windows and through holes in the floors and shooting through like the dust in the room.
As I go
everyone
to sit at the
starts coming-
table.
Oh, go on.
No, actually, no, you go first.
Well, as everyone starts coming downstairs and seeing everything, looking around, seeing it's still pretty dark, I was just gonna wave his hand real quick. Oh no, do I not have it anymore? I don't have thaumaturgy. Never mind. Psych.
Just waves.
Yeah,
They
just
get
waves at-
disappointed.
Waves at the party.
Whilst I come to serve by myself, I'm gonna walk over and be like, "Is that the reigning champion?" Hold his hand up, jerking like, "Yeah!"
While Moss looks up from his
The
book
man,
and gives
the
a
myth,
solid
the
nod,
legend.
then goes back to reading his book.
I will
Are
never.
you-
Talia's just sitting there I will never drink with you guys again.
I'm
Not
gonna
that I will
tell
never
you
drink
the
alcohol
biggest
like this.
shit-eating grin.
Are you Moss or Man Moss at this point?
I gave
Like,
my cloak back so he could improve
Oh,
upon
right.
it. So
Okay.
currently I am Moss Moss.
Man, Moss.
No, Moss Moss.
I just Moss.
Man
Moss
Moss
Moss.
sounds like a weird innuendo.
Oh,
It's the
man, no, stop.
Man Moss and Robot Moss. How about that? Moss.
Moss Moss.
Moss.
Right now he's Moss Moss. But yeah, he's just reading his book, and yeah, I gave him twice the amount that I paid for it to make it last longer. So I'm hoping I can get some good length out of that. That was the goal there. So right now he's just
Man Moss is looking to improve his length.
yeah. Oh yeah. So he's so for now he's just reading his book, waiting for the appropriate time to head over and talk to this guy.
I'll likewise do that, as I'm also waiting for some enchantment.
Hey guys, do you want some money? We got paid last night, but you guys were having a drinking contest, and I don't think you'd be able to spend responsibly.
Ooh.
Oh,
Well, that's good news to wake up for.
you actually have to go to the brewery warehouse to collect the payment from.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Decta
I remember
Ducor.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was like
Oh no, wait.
it was.
He gave
I
me
have the
Huh?
money on him at the time.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We have to go to
Yeah.
the brewery. Fuck, my bad.
I mean, we've got a bit of time before we go see Euromir and his magic enchantments.
the payment.
Maybe
I
this
do
maybe this
need
kind you
my
can.
cloak.
Yes.
I actually have something very important I need to do.
Which
Okay.
is
I need to find a library.
Okay. Roll investigation.
perhaps we find that and then go to the brewery.
Shit.
You have no idea if there's one here or not.
We
There
should
should
probably.
know,
Hey, we should probably also go to the mayor or whoever's ruling the city. Who's ruling the city? Do I know?
The Baron already.
No.
Yeah, I know, right? Roll a history check.
Do I get advantage because I live here? I lived here for my whole fucking life.
Yes.
Okay. Where the fuck is it there? 12.
Okay. So you know that the ruling person of this city is named Duke Trystan Silentfury.
What a name. That's good.
I have to write
Wow.
that down because I feel like that's
Fury.
kind of important. Hold on.
And I'm sorry, I write down every fucking name Mike says. Are you kidding me?
This is the only name I don't need to write down. It's
Do-
fucking Silent Fury.
Who the fuck? What's it called? Duke? What? Silent Fury?
Tristan.
Tristan.
That
T-R-Y.
sounds pretty badass.
Tristan.
Trystan.
What was their title?
Okay.
Duke.
Duke.
Do I know what race he is?
Roll another history check at advantage.
Great. History. 14.
Okay. He is a human. You have actually seen him before because he has like gone through the town and stuff, and you have seen him on special occasions and celebrations and parades and such.
So as a duke, who does he serve to?
The king of Aeothar, who
Okay.
the seat of power is in Stone Grove.
Would I know how to get an audience with Tristan? What's his name? Silent Fury.
Silent Fury.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can go and try to get an audience with him.
Okay, because we should kind of probably warn him about the fact that Blackfield might be attacking the city in like a week. How much time do we have left in
believe
Terrible
that's
Time?
the entire reason we came. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about a week.
Probably
before
doing that first then.
things
Yeah,
are supposed to go down.
I
It
think
was
the diplomats.
5 days.
No, wait, I don't know what the diplomats call.
No, we spent 5 days, so it's a little bit over a week.
Yeah.
It's like 9
9-ish.
days.
Yeah.
8 now.
So, what is it that you were saying, Target? Sorry.
Well, I did say that we should probably warn him for the attack, and I want to say something about the diplomats, but I wasn't the soul gem for that, so I don't know about that.
Can somebody help me find a library?
I can. I live here. I lived here.
So perhaps we go to the library, then the brewery, then the magic shop, then we go find this duke.
That sounds like a plan.
I like that idea.
Yeah, me too.
It's refreshing to finally be concise on what order we're doing everything in a day.
Yes.
But before we do anything, breakfast?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in like a kind of rundown bar, aren't we?
Yeah.
At least we won't get ripped off with
You
breakfast
stayed
like
at
10
the,
golds in the dar.
You guys stayed at the Terrible Tavern?
Yeah.
Can I like,
TT.
from where I'm sat, can I see into the kitchen?
Roll perception.
That's a nah. I don't even know if this place has a kitchen.
Maybe you could send
Um,
salmon.
Is anyone currently at the front of like the bar thing?
Yes.
Okay, I asked the guy, hey, do you have breakfast?
And he told you, yeah, we have, like some basic food stuff we cook. We have very basic cooking capabilities in the back. Is there anything that you're wanting in particular? We've got some eggs, some bacon, some old
yeah,
bread maybe for toast.
Eggs and bacon sound good.
Okay.
How much for 5 people? Moss, are you eating something?
Moss says literally never eaten.
Okay, well then, for 4 people.
Okay. 4 silver for that.
Okay, I give him the silver.
Can I watch? Can I ask them if I can watch?
Roll a persuasion check.
Can I watch you guys make the meal? I'm quite a savant in the kitchen.
And he says, sure, yeah, just, try to stay out of the way and not make a mess.
That's fine, and I clank on in there.
Okay. Yeah, and your armor is just, like, very clunky in this small space with, like, 2 other people in there.
I'm, like, crouched in the corner, right?
And you see they have, like, a very large, flat grill table in the back, and they start cracking some eggs on it and throwing on some raw bacon, and like the sizzle begins to happen and the steam rises up and you just smell like delicious bacon being cooked with like a slight maple.
Eat.
Can
Hell
I
yeah.
perhaps give them a few of my spices? Hey guys,
Spice.
I know you said this is a reasonably basic meal, but I do have a lot of pretty nice spices from my travels. If you want to try something out.
Roll a persuasion.
Just if they wanna.
It's like, hey, I noticed you're cooking like a bitch. Can I make it better?
Just, give them a try.
And they say, sure, what do you have?
Oh, I have also. I mean, y'all the chefs here, clearly. But I'd really recommend. What are we in the mood for today?
Salt.
Salt.
Yeah.
One bowl of salt, please.
Just like as a side, a whole bowl of salt. Last time we had the dwarf spices with bacon, that tasted pretty good. So we'll try that. Classic combo.
Oh, with the dwarf spice?
Yeah, the last time we had dwarf spice and bacon, it was very nice.
Or spice
Okay.
sounds like a drug.
We do have drug spice.
It probably is.
Didn't we have like past tense? Aren't they gone?
No, I have a very small amount left that I'm using to try and
Okay.
recreate the formula perfectly.
Yeah, there's like a single serving of it left.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay, so yeah, you hand over the dwarf spice, and they kind of like hold the small leather satchel in their hand and open it up and look inside and kind of, pick some up and run it through their fingers and kind of see like what it is and give it a smell. And they say, "Oh, this smells pretty good, actually. Where'd you come across this?"
Oh, I've got many spices on my travels. I think I bought this one did I get this in Santyn when we left there? From that food market?
I feel like maybe you did, yeah.
Yeah. I think I got this in the Santyn Isles. From a food market. Some dwarven spices. Very good.
And he says, "Oh, okay. Well, if we ever get out that way, we'll have to see if we can come across it ourselves."
I mean, you do live in a port town. You could try and get some imported.
And he kind of has that like aha look and says, "Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah, I'll have to do that. I'll see what the merchants can bring in for me."
Nice.
Wait, you
Yeah.
never thought he's living in the port town? He's never thought about importing spices.
He works at a shit. He works at like the Marriott.
It's the
Like-
terrible tavern, not like
Yeah.
the awesome
terrible
tavern.
Like,
Don't be
he
like-
gives a fuck. He's
Like,
like,
Don't be
yeah,
like, holy
hold
fuck, I
on,
live
let
near
me
the
go get-
ocean.
This
Like
guy's
the-
like, hold on, let me go get my brother in the back. He handles all the cooking. And then he goes back, changes a hat. Hey, it's me. I handle all the cooking.
When we come back here, we eventually save Wintervale and the world, because we will. And we come back here, this will be the tremendous tavern because of this one small change. Everyone's gonna flock everywhere.
This whole area
The
is gonna be
tremendous
gentrified after this fucking one tavern turns into like the Boku new
Yeah.
type place.
It's like the fact that food is actually being served from this place is a miracle, because if the health department existed in this world, they would not be serving food.
The
Yeah.
health department just in this world, most places wouldn't operate.
They would barely be able to like sell their rooms to people. For
The health
while-
department's just some wizards with prestidigitation cleaning things.
while Tony's back there cooking up
Okay.
at the table, Moss would turn to Durgit, one who's here. I was like, as we prepare, do you remember the location of any libraries nearby?
Do I? I mean-
Roll a history check.
I love when questions like
An
that are
advantage.
asked, and then
You live here.
I love
Hey, God.
that when
Mhm.
yeah, it's when
14.
questions are that like
Literally
or
Tony
that
every
are
minute of the day.
Yes, there is a library that is closer to the castle.
Yeah, actually, there's a library. It's closest to the castle. I can get you there, or rob us.
Moss nods and turns to Hydrata. There is one done. Then after, we go to the magic shop. What was that dude's name again?
Ymir.
I wrote it down. I
Ymir.
did write it down. Just an asshole.
Yeah, the castle and library, it's in more of like the noble district where you guys went drinking the night before. That whole kind of sector is what like leads up to the castle and where kind of the nicer shops are, and libraries and tailors and things of that nature. So, what was everybody doing?
Waiting for Tony to
Cooking.
finish cooking.
yeah, like waiting for the breakfast. And Talia's just like I don't know. Talia will be the whole time. Will be like nervously looking around.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I would say not long after they finish up cooking everything and hand you your satchel of spices back,
Thank you.
and like take one of the pieces of bacon and like tries it for themselves, and they just get like a, oh my god, that's fucking delicious look.
Hands off the bake. I
Yeah.
paid for that shit.
I'll have the one with a bite mark in it.
Well, they like cooked up a few extra pieces.
Nah,
Okay.
They do own the place after all.
Good for them.
not anymore.
And yeah, it's just like a platter of bacon and like a
I'll,
platter.
I'll
of, like,
clank through
eggs.
after them.
Okay. Yeah, and they like take the platters out to the table with everyone else.
Tony comes out and he's just got like 9 platters down each arm.
It's like just piled with like bacon.
Tony works here now.
He's got like a waiter's outfit on. Still
Hey
well.
Tony. Hey Tony, I wouldn't recommend working here. I'm pretty sure the payment is shit.
Why can't you say that as they bring out the bacon?
Tony could end
whispering.
up like turning this place around and like turning
Yeah.
into like the successful
Yeah,
tavern.
guys, fuck saving the world. Let's just take over this tavern.
Yeah.
Coin.
No, thank you.
Same
If we
thing we
get...
do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the tavern.
I mean, to be fair, if we get, we could also try and get somewhat monopoly over these hangover potions. We'd become rich.
Right?
True.
I
Just
can't
get everyone
just-
liquored up the night before and then sell them the hangover cures like in the morning for like a boosted price.
I can
Mm,
also, and
disgraceful.
then Moss just makes his hand start glowing. Remove that myself.
Yeah, but we can't sell you for a costly amenity.
Others
mean, we
would
can.
disagree.
Or have like
You
a
can
gift,
have people pay for that service.
or have like a gift basket with like hand soaps and
Hmm.
a hangover cure and like little chocolates and stuff.
I thought you were talking about selling moss still, so it's like a basket with moss in it.
Moss has his own
It's like a
touch to
tiny
it.
moss.
No, it's
Like-
a regular sized basket, giant moss just kind of standing in the basket.
Moss
He's
action
got
figure.
one foot in it.
Yeah.
Action figure.
There's like a bow wrapped around him.
Yeah. I'm gonna dig into this bacon.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
me too.
I paid for this shit. I'm eating everything.
Hydrata's not gonna eat today.
Fucking capitalist.
Why not? Hydrata, is everything alright? Are you done? Are you okay?
Oh, everything's fine. I'm just not hungry.
Okay.
Hey, right,
Insight check.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try and insight check that?
Yeah, damn right.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
12.
Hardrada seems like he's not hungry.
Fair enough.
Hera, you're not turning more tiefling-ish again. Like you're not going to stand to a circle
not
being
turning
unconscious
human
floating
again.
again. Like
I'm-
we've
Yeah.
had
No,
that
no,
before.
no, no.
I'm pretty sure.
Hydrada always skips breakfast.
I'm pretty sure
know this.
tieflings still eat, Alex.
I know, but last time he didn't eat. The next day, the next morning, he was missing, and then in a circle filled with magic bullshit. I think he would
Alright,
left
that's a
him or
fair
something.
point.
And then we had to, and then we had to fight him.
That is a fair point, but as far as you can tell, Hardrada is just genuinely not hungry, and as far as I can tell, he isn't either.
Moss
Well,
is just kind of like scanning across the group while hearing everyone do this shit. He's just
Whilst
having an internal monologue to himself.
the group seems terrible.
And the bacon itself is a little on the extra crispy side. Like you can tell looking at these guys,
As it
they're
should
not,
be.
Like,
Like, is it like crispy or black crispy?
Black
like
is not crispy.
almost borderline black. Like there's some.
Is it what my
areas-
mum would call caramelized in quotation marks?
Yeah, exactly.
The
Call
house
it,
was
Caramelized.
the house
Call it-
wasn't burnt down. It's just caramelized.
We call it Cajun style because it's like blackened.
Talia, by the way, is
I
also like
Feel
just kind of.
attacked and insulted, sir.
Okay, yeah, let's not start a war between the states. We already had a civil war. Or you guys.
California wasn't in the Civil War.
I know, but
California
Texas
given,
was.
like, U.S. territory at that point.
Texas.
I know, but Texas was.
We were.
Anyway,
yeah.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
so-
yeah. Talia is probably also not like
Anywho.
kind of just chewing
Hmm.
on stuff.
Yeah. So
Hey,
the
Robert, are
bacon
you still
itself,
eating that?
like, it's cooked and it's like very crispy, but there's parts of it where it like sat, on the or in the pan for a little too long on that side, and it's a little
Mm.
blackened. Yeah.
Mm.
That's fine. They'll get the hang of it.
Yeah. Hey, Brother,
Whilst challenging.
Brother, are you eating that?
What?
Are you eating your stuff? Because we're not hungry, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, you can eat it.
Yes!
Does anyone also want my stuff? I've done feel
Yes.
like it right now.
Yes.
Tony's
Whilst
like, I paid
Turgut
for
is
this,
taking
I-
everyone's portions, Tony's face is like a sad puppy.
Marigold is just like eating like in Dragon Ball Z, just like tons of food like all at once within seconds.
Or One Piece, that one, whatever. Wait,
Every
Tony?
anime main character.
Spirited away.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, want some?
Anime eating.
It's so good. Please.
And the dwarf spices definitely help. They all seem to kick anything up a notch, which you're putting it on. So
Does anyone come in during this time?
Yeah. That's, Talia's on the constantly on the watch.
at this point, no. Like no one's really coming in. Most people that are up at this hour are usually already at their jobs doing whatever tasks they do for a living.
Moss is just like Sentry Gun Call of Duty mode, just like. Just the whole fucking room.
Okay.
Well, if everyone's finished their delicious plates, do you want to head
There's
out?
just 3 plates.
If everyone hasn't, I'm finishing it. But otherwise,
Moss stands.
Yeah, I think I'm finished, and I just wipe my mouth.
Yeah, I'm also.
Moss pretends to wipe his mouth.
Hardrada says.
No.
Well, if we're finished, then I'd like to go to the library now.
Yeah, sure, I can show you.
I need to do some research.
On
Okay.
what?
Or
Corn?
Not corn. Azathoth.
Ah, that fucker,
Or
yeah.
Not
That's
necessarily
smart.
Azathoth, but more occult in general.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's go then.
Eduardo, you're really worrying me. When this cult talk again.
Your own cult.
If my cult is in books already, I would be surprised.
I do have my own research I would like to conduct as well.
They've surprised you before.
Oh,
They
I
have
was like,
surprised me before. My cult. Do they do? Would I know if they know that I'm good yet?
Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
I
that
mean,
phrasing.
You,
You
you want
haven't
to ask
really-
that question
I
again?
swear to God.
you haven't really had any. Yeah, you haven't really had any contact with them since everything went down.
You know what? I'm actually going to use a spell slot, and
I
I'm
swear
going...
to God, Corn's stupid cold is gonna bite us
I'm
in the
going to
fucking
ritual cast Thunder.
I'm going to cast... Shut up. I'm going to cast Sending.
I'm going to cast Shut Up. That's a spell.
No.
I can cast-
No, I'm going to cast
It's called
Sending.
silence.
Okay.
And say to Don Provolone,
The fuck you doing, mate? Stop.
ow. How
you.
does the cult business?
How does the cold?
How does the cult business?
Yes.
See, you gotta
This
cast
kind of riddle? How does the cult business?
No, okay, I'm gonna ask.
You
How
have
does the cold
25
business?
words.
Okay, fine. I'm going to utilize that 25 words and say, how goes the cult business?
That's better than how does the cult business?
Um.
You got 20 more
So-
if you want to use them.
So a couple seconds later, you hear Don Provolone answer, and you hear, "So, the traitors returned. The master told me what you did. He's chosen me now."
Oh fuck.
Holy shit! I knew this was gonna bite us in the ass. I knew it.
And there's silence again, and the last thing you hear is, "See you real soon."
Oh,
What is this, a
no,
horror
come
movie?
on, come
Yes.
on,
Okay.
come on.
Well,
Now
I'm
we
not
have-
actually
You
that
can read, but you
scared.
can
No,
monologue like a
no,
pro.
listen.
Oh, well.
Now we have Corn's stupid cold on our ass, and Talia's girlfriend, and another cold. What?
And at this rate, they're probably all arriving at the same time, which means 3 fronts. Is this Germany in the Second World War?
To be fair, though, one of those cults could have been avoided altogether.
Yes.
Yeah, Corn.
I'm
We were
sorry, I
responsible
was
for one
just
of
doing
those.
what my patron was telling me to do.
Anyway, before we start a discussion, library.
Your
Yes,
patron
library.
evil dick.
To the books.
Do we and Mike? Do we Talia's on high alert for Ija. So do we see anyone?
Yeah, the
Did
whole
she
the
see
whole
it? Did she
walk there, Moss is also on.
Yeah, like they're
Moss and
both probably
Talia
like.
are on just like fucking scoping out, looking around corners and shit, running
Tony's on
out.
a very high alert for magic shops.
Everybody
no
roll
weapon.
initiative.
What?
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I was thought you were serious first.
Try me. Actually,
I'm
you know
fighting a
what?
magic shop.
On the walk there, like not to go out of the way of whatever path we're taking, but Moss would do like a scan of all the shops, see if there's like an armory place, something that does. Did I already get a fucking chest piece? Am I dumb?
You got that leather.
I had that studded leather custom.
Yeah,
chest.
studded
Never mind.
leather.
I did take care of that. Psych. So go to the fucking library.
Oh yeah, on the walk.
I would
I'm
like to
gonna-
nosy for trinkets though.
Okay.
While we're walking to the library, I'm gonna ask the group, hey, what the fuck is a spirit troll?
What?
What?
Okay, so Yurmia gave
Do
me
I
a
know?
list of stuff to make my armor better, and apparently I need essence of a spirit troll. What the fuck is a spirit troll?
Do I know what a spirit troll is?
It sounds
Do I
like
also
a
know I
troll
went
in spirit form.
Roll
do I-
roll
Can I also roll a check because I'm a bard? Went to college.
roll
to college.
roll nature checks.
Oh, that's something I'm proficient. No, not I'm
Yay.
proficient in, but I have.
Or would it
Thing
be
in that.
Arcana? No.
Hey,
Literally both of those are
18.
terrible for me.
Yeah.
18.
What about
Oh.
medicine?
Yo, can I roll like persuasion to just persuade God to tell me?
Uh,
Because that's like a thing I'm good.
okay, so
There was I don't. Yeah, go on.
Talia, you've heard stories about trolls that have been blasted with either psychic or psychic energy and have transcended their own physical bodies.
Okay.
They still have all the temperaments and wants and desires of a troll, but they are intangible almost walking the ethereal plane. And
I really like information.
you've only ever heard of them as more of like a mythical sort of story. You've never heard any like first accounts of people actually seeing one before.
Yeah, everything you just said came out of Talia's mouth and to Durgan.
Okay, that's great now. How do we get their essence?
If they're
Find out.
extraplanar, have I been taught anything about them?
If I had to guess, probably by killing them.
It's probably always going to be killing them.
It's not so much that they're extraplanar. Their form is just more ethereal,
Nice.
Interplanar.
but still on the material plane.
Nice.
Yeah. It's not like a phase spider where it like phases in and out of like the material
Cool.
and like the ethereal plane. It's
They've just got kind of like
What spider?
ethereal vibes.
yeah.
Phase
What
spiders.
spider?
Phase spider.
Don't worry about phase spiders.
Is that a blink
No, I
spider
do.
form?
I mean, technically,
No.
technically, Spaz is interplanar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he's cute, so...
Yeah, he's a
Abjurat-
good boy.
Abjurat.
Abjure the
He's not
extraplanar.
harming anyone.
Yeah,
We're
he's
keeping
the
watch of him.
Tony's like, sorry, Spaz. Divine smite.
If you, I dare you, I dare you.
The planes aren't necessarily
so,
evil. There are
once-
planes that are, but the planes themselves, being from a different plane, isn't necessarily bad.
Bingo.
Technically, elves themselves came from another plane. Originally,
Really?
Mm.
Really? I
Yes.
didn't know that.
That's cool.
I believe they were called, as I dig through my notes and try to find the thing that I can't find for some reason. God, how long ago did I read this fucking book?
Okay, for unrelated reasons,
yeah.
hey,
Lore
what?
about elves that Moss knows, but Oliver doesn't.
Ah, nice.
That's so
They
interesting.
come from a race of golden elves from within the Fey Wild.
Eladrin.
Eladrin, thank you.
Ooh.
That exist within the Fey Wild.
Okay.
That's
It's
really
actually
interesting.
what I'm hoping to research.
Can I,
Oh.
or when we get to the library?
I still have stuff on the list I need to ask the group.
Okay, what are you
Oh,
asking?
God, your list
Okay,
is
so
long.
I guess
This
was
is
like
like
last
on
time.
this is like on the walk to the library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like my last time we were in Wintervale, it was a long time ago. Holy. You remember those dragon eggs we got for the kingdom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What color were they?
Oh,
Fuck if I know.
God. I look at Sam like, what color were they? What do you mean? You were in the box. You. Come on. One of us has got to be smart, and it's not me.
Roll just like a straight wisdom check for me.
Everyone? Or like except for
Ooh.
us? Do I remember?
Can I participate?
I'm just also gonna.
I would say pretty much everyone except Moss because Moss wasn't there for that.
Damn it. If it's for memory, by the way, it's definitely history and not wisdom.
What's that?
If you're doing memory, memory's just always history, even if it's personal memory.
Okay. Well,
my,
anyway,
my
for
wisdom
book
and my
rules.
history are the same, I believe.
So, anyways, we'll just roll with the wisdom checks for right now. You do remember they were all pretty mottled colored looking, like very drab colored. But you do remember one seemed to have like a blackish hue to it.
Yeah.
One was blue, and one was like a copper or bronze color, maybe.
Okay, nice. Also, Talia, don't you know nature stuff? Do dragons shed their scales like every now and then, like reptiles do?
Do they?
Roll a nature check.
Come on. 14.
Okay. you've not really ever heard of that happening. Usually, when their scales come in, they're very
Removed.
no, not removed. They're what's the word I'm looking for? Reinforced. So they're very armor-like and sturdy. They don't really come out unless there's like great trauma that's happened to the area.
But are dragons reptiles or lizards?
Fuck if I know.
I mean, they could be considered maybe distant relatives, but dragons are kind of their own creatures.
Okay. Okay, I was lying when I said it was unrelated. For my new cool armor, or improved armor, I need the scale of a bronze dragon.
Well, that was one of the eggs.
Yeah, so that's why I
Well,
asked, because
you know-
it'd be really useful to ask a dragon doesn't want to kill us
Potentially.
on sight.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. We'll keep an eye out.
Thanks.
So
Well,
is
I'm
that
not looking
all
for-
you need? That spiritual essence and the dragon egg.
I need another thing, a UNT Broodguard leather thing, so I guess I need to skin
You-
one of these guys or something.
You on T who what?
Brute guard leather.
Root
Yeah.
guard?
Brood guard.
Root
Brood
guard.
guard.
Do I know how to pronounce English words? No, I don't.
That's debatable if Yanti is English or not.
yeah, true.
It's like
So and
a
then what
hodgepodge of
what
different
color
languages.
dragon egg did he need?
Bronze.
It was a scale, wasn't it?
Bronze.
Yeah.
Bronze
Scale,
dragon
not
scale?
not. Yeah.
Oh.
Not egg.
Yaramir's not making an omelet.
Oh, from flowers and shit?
A dragon egg omelet.
Sounds
Tony
delicious.
salivates at the idea.
No.
That's kind of gross.
It's like
Boss doesn't, but Oliver does.
it's like bluefin tuna. It's just like so rare it should be illegal to eat.
It's the equivalent of Wagyu steak, dragon steak.
Dragon steak.
Like,
Anywho,
there's-
these-
Meals.
to the
there's-
library.
Yeah,
I like
there's
bump into like an outstanding post as I'm like thinking about dragon steak.
There's like a dragon farm where they just farm dragons to like wormling
No.
age.
Just
and then
one
just-
old
No.
Japan. It's one
Veal.
old Japanese man taking care of a bunch of dragons.
just veal little dragons.
Yes.
No.
There's a bunch of rip-off farms that farm drakes and call it
Yes.
dragon.
I can't believe it's not dragon.
Or wyvern.
the good old diet dragons.
Good old diet dragons.
But yeah, so I would say around that time you make your way towards the library, and you see that the building itself is very tall and it's made of stone. There are like decorative stained glass windows and large columns decorating the outside of it. And
Beautiful.
kind of
So along that whole walk, Moss was scanning for people who were looking at the party too long, looking shifty, trying to
Yeah, and Talia was just looking for the
trying
She
to suss out anyone
recognize
that's
anyone.
hunting down the party because it seems like this seems a pretty popular bunch.
right.
Us.
So roll investigations, whoever's.
Both of us?
Perception? Because I'm looking
Yeah,
for people, not a
maybe.
specific thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Big PP. Big
Uh,
PP
on.
Michael.
Ugh.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. Fuck
5
that, I
and a
guess.
2.
I
Everything,
had.
everything seems clear. You don't see anyone that really stands out to you.
do I see
Awesome.
any
No, no, that's
magic
a
shop
fucking
owners that stand out to me?
lie.
Do I notice Talia and Moss looking around?
I'm sure you will notice Talia being like all shifty, nervous because she's like not trying to she's not intentionally not trying to hide, but like she's not hiding it. That she's
Moss
Right.
is Moss is a 6'7" robot whose head is constantly on swivel. You'd probably notice that.
Okay.
Tony, roll investigation.
Okay.
You have no money.
You don't know
Where do you
that.
get the money from?
You don't know that.
Yeah, you don't really see anyone peddling any magic stuff on the way there.
Yeah, I give like a little sigh of disappointment. Like,
Aww.
Moss
Hey,
gives him a
Talia.
pat on the shoulder.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about Asia being here just yet. You saw her leaving about 2 or 3 days ago. Well, I wasn't the gem, so I don't know. Tyler. So don't
No.
worry because she's going to arrive either tomorrow or today or maybe even longer.
It
She needs
was
longer depending on how the
yesterday.
sea is moving.
And through magical means, it is fairly quickly to travel. Better
And we
safe
don't know if
than
it
sorry.
really was in Esdale or not. It could have as well been here in Athavon.
More
Athavon
than
is big.
likely,
It would still be a few
in
days travel.
Blackreach.
Don't worry.
Well,
Not
I
being
can
worried is not being cautious, and that can be dangerous.
Oh no, I'm sure that there could be some Hydra Set people around here. I'm just saying specifically Asia is probably not here. She's going to take
That
a while.
is a dangerous thought to have. Be prepared. And Moss looks at you and stops moving and looks at you for a second. Be prepared.
I am. I've been doing this for a while. And I was
Awesome.
like, when people are looking for me, it's nothing new.
You are easy at being seen. We, and then looks across the group, stand out quite a bit. Being found is very easy. Being on alert is not negative. Turns to Talia. I will keep us covered as well.
Thank
Rest
you.
easy, but stay alert.
I will.
Then gives a nod and then continues moving.
Okay. So, yeah, was there anything anybody else was trying to do before going into the library?
Opening the
go
door.
to the library.
Okay, so yeah, you all are in front of the library now and begin to walk up the stairs to go inside.
Nice.
The important question is, do I have a library card?
No one ever has a library card.
Right,
Were
you always
library
gotta-
cards invented yet?
I have a library
Sign up.
card actually.
Alright, can we just
my-
appreciate Durga would never have a library card.
That's a very fair assumption.
I am going to comb through the books. I'm going to take a comb out of my pocket and just sort of start
Yeah.
He
rubbing
ain't
it
found
against the
shit.
And you see that there is a older looking female half-orc that is tending to the library, acting as the librarian. She has like kind of white hair pulled up in a bun and like the glasses, and is currently looking at some papers as you walk in.
I love that you said the glasses, like as in assumption that all librarians have glasses.
You're goddamn right they do. It's part of the uniform.
She's elderly. She's gotta read good.
Right?
Yeah.
And looks up as all of you enter and says, "Yes, hello. Can I help you?"
Hello.
Which? No, I'm just kidding.
No!
Voice.
Will you stop it?
No, okay. So I ask, hello. I was wondering if you would have any
Yes.
books on religions.
I thought you were just gonna leave it at books.
I think you might have cut out there a little bit.
Okay.
You just
Um,
said, I was thinking, books.
Oh.
Do y'all got
Me
books here at the
too.
library?
Me too, man. Me too.
I was
Books?
wondering if
What
you
are
had
they?
any books at on religion.
And religion.
And she says, well, yes, we have a very extensive religion section here at the library.
Good.
What is it that you're looking for in particular? Maybe I could help you out.
Sick.
Radical.
That's dope.
Fucking radical.
Bodacious, dude.
Gnarly.
Get anything done today. Okay, so I ask the librarian, can I have some books on certain types of deities, specifically the lesser known deities, evil ones, good ones, neutral ones?
Okay. And she says, "Follow me," and stands up and takes you to a further section of the library. And you can see there's roughly about 6 to 7 bookcases, roughly about 10 feet high, that are just filled with books on different religions, deities, things of that nature.
And I ask, do you know anything about a deity by the name of Bry?
And she thinks for a moment and says, Bry. No, the name's not ringing a bell, I'm sorry.
Alright, what about Aeothar?
And she says, I don't know the name, personally, I'm sorry.
Alright, do you have any books that would be on deities of invention or destruction?
And she says, well, there's different books on war gods.
I'm looking specifically for chaos
pantheon.
gods.
And she says, well, we don't really have that sort of book here. What you're looking for would be something of a rare tome, I believe.
I see. Well, do you mind if I look through your books for a little while?
And she says, yes, help yourself. Just put everything back in order when you leave.
All right, thanks. And then I pull out like a, like one of how schools have those libraries where it's like they have the like things where you can slide it in between the books and like pull it out a book so you remember where the book goes.
The space saver, hell yeah.
Yeah, I pull out one of those.
Okay. So yeah, roll investigation.
I will help Hadrada find whatever he needs.
I will help Hadrada reach whatever he needs.
Okay, so roll that at advantage.
Advantage.
Yeah.
11!
11, that's
These
one
rolls
better.
today, guys. These are some good fucking rolls.
Wow. Okay.
Please don't have us have any combat today, Mike. Please.
Cannot deal.
You see there is a book on Atrasil, a book on a deity known as Althracia.
Ooh, I'll take that one.
Okay. There is one on a deity named Duhedis, and one on Vakdal.
So I know
Duhedis doesn't
Vakdal
have
and
2 heads, I'm gonna be mad.
I'm gonna also take the one on Duhedis, and
Okay.
I'm going to make a mental note on where they were, along with placing like just a random item from my disguise kit where they went.
Okay, so which one are you reading?
I'll read the one on what was the second one you named?
Duhedis?
Duhedis.
I meant the second one
it
in
was
total.
the A. It was the A one.
Oh, Althracia.
Yeah, I'll read the one on
Althracia.
Althracia first.
That's a fucking name right there.
Yeah, that's a good name.
So Althracia is the god of the oceans. Would be considered chaotic neutral, and is typically worshipped by sailors, seabound merchants, people really having anything to do with maritime sort of work or lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask, is the cover of the book outwardly oceanic?
The book itself is like a blue color, and there is like a gold engraving on the front of Althracia's symbol.
Is the symbol like waves or fish or something like that? Something
yes.
very clearly wet. Tony's gonna be curiously peering over your shoulder then.
Yeah, it is.
Is it a moist book?
No.
You have it just leaks everywhere.
Yeah.
But the symbol of it though is characterized waves with a compass rose and 2 tridents intersecting from either side.
Okay, yes, with my one trident, feeling a little inferior, I'll peer over Hadrada's shoulder and take notes.
The book also goes on to say that Althracia, even though being a major deity and not so much one of like trickery or anything like that, has been known to play pranks and practical jokes on sailors who are lost at sea.
Oh.
He has somewhat of a cruel outlook at times.
I was about to say, is that like, is he antagonizing these poor fucks that are lost?
It's not so much antagonizing; it's just his sense of humor as a god.
Wow.
Okay,
doesn't-
so is the guy basically Water Loki?
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of, yeah, he says.
Well, real Loki's kind of a
But-
fucking dick.
But on the other
No,
side,
it's not.
but on the other side
Okay,
of
no.
the,
It's literally kill people's children.
Okay, let's not start this debate.
but on the other side of the same coin, you go on to read that there's also some who view him as mighty and stoic, looking out for his followers and patrons, while, you know, on the other side, it kind of paints him as like a tormentor and, you know, finding jest at people's hardships.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So he kind of just does what he wants to on a whim.
Well, that's interesting and useful. I will now look at Duhedis, I guess.
Okay. This book is dark in color, almost like a burnt umber kind of shade to it.
Mhm.
You begin reading, and he is described as the god of deception, sneakery, thieving, and is considered chaotic neutral.
My bro, sorry.
He to the patrons he has, you know, quote unquote, appeared to, they've described him as being mostly a flowing cloak over some kind of a faceless form. Not horrific or scary in any way, but just very nobody's ever really seen what he actually looks like beyond that form.
So more nondescript than faceless.
Yeah.
All right.
He's been described as being very helpful to his loyal followers, teaching them techniques and tricks of the trade to better them as thieves and like being deceptive in general. He always encourages them to take the challenging route in order to hone and fine-tune their skills.
Alright, and I will put down the books and head to the librarian again and ask,
Psych, my turn, nerd. You got 2 books.
okay.
I'm gonna jump in. You got 2 books out of that. All right, so I approached the librarian after Hadrada finished his hogging her. Moss's giant just up to the counter. Looks down at the poor old woman. Waits for her to
And-
react.
Yeah, she is just kind of seeming on guard a bit and just looking at you, kind of waiting to see what you're going to do or say.
So he sits there waiting for her to respond. She waits there sitting for him to respond, so he just kind of stands there.
And
She's
She's
finally,
like, ah,
she
fuck, man, I've seen everything.
finally she like breaks the silence and says, "Yes, sir. May I help you?"
Thank you. I was hoping to find a tome similar to, and then reaches into his bag and pulls out his like generic Lore of the Feywild book that he found. Set it down. I was hoping for more information about this plane. I believe it is referred to as the Feywild. If
And-
possible, I have another, but this would be my primary search.
And she says, "Okay, yes, we have a fairly extensive catalog of extraplanar lore and mythology. Follow me, please. And,
I also follow.
You see that the way she's taking you, it's kind of like on the other side of the bookcases, separating like you and Hadrada, and it's kind of directly on that other side. And you see that there are different books on the Nine Hells, the Feywild, the Ethereal Realm, most of like the commonly known extra realms that there are.
Yeah, so going over to like the section on the Feywild, general of what I'm looking for is images and pictures, depictions of what is in there, and then like folk stories, things of like people telling stories of things, mysterious creatures, oddities that they've seen within the Feywild, and just through his visions and trying to put some stuff together, see if he can gather some more information.
Okay. So you find a book titled Flora and Fauna of the Feywild, A Visitor's Guide. And it's a fairly thick book.
So this is more, yeah, no, so that's, I'll slide that back in. That's a little too specific on what he's looking for. He's looking for more like, think about like if a little kid were to come and try to find a book to learn about the Feywild, not scientific and information, more like
Feywild for dummies.
yeah, drawings. He's looking for something that like drawings of landscapes, not specific creatures or
The
things.
Feywild's a pop-up book.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
He'll grab that. He'll take it just to look at and thumb through, but he's already got a good bit on the flora and fauna from that other book.
Right, okay. So yeah, you find another book that is called Myths and Mythologies of the Feywild.
Oh, we are talking. Myth and Mythologies of the Feywild. All right. So take that. Is the librarian still nearby?
Yes, she's still standing there.
All right, yeah. So as he grabs those two books, this will be
Psych,
perfect.
you've got 2 books. I'm talking to the library.
There
You've
you
been
go.
hogging them. Tony approaches the librarian and says, hey, do you have any books on just like local magic?
On
Just like
what?
some just magical wonders, the arcane in general.
I mean,
Hadrada asks Tony, can you also ask about
you're on the other side of the library.
On the
Yelling.
other side of a bookcase.
Just pokes his head through and like a bunch of books fall and he says, hey, can you? No, I'm just kidding.
If you Moss got well before the librarian goes, Moss turns to Blue, or Blue. God damn it, Tony! Never done that one before. Jesus.
Yeah.
Turns to Tony. Is if you needed an introduction on magic, I don't know much, but magic is one of my strengths.
Well, I'd
Between Hadrada and I, we could, if you want to read, absolutely, but we know a lot.
to be honest, I might need your help just reading these books.
That is fair. We can.
I was never
read
a strong
together.
student.
Let's find one then and see what we can do. And turns to the librarian. My
Thank
apologies.
you, library partner.
Please lead the way.
Okay, so
Magic for dummies.
So she takes you to another section of the library, and the section for magic is a bit smaller. It's probably about 3 or 4 bookcases, and you see that there are books kind of describing the different schools of magic, places that they might be taught at. There are several books on Bacab, and kind of his following.
Have I read those already?
Roll a history check.
Ooh.
It's hard to tell. Yeah, it hasn't been translated from
Right.
Vudarian to Common. No, just kidding. That's not a valid excuse.
I was about to say, do we all speak a different language and can't actually understand each other
Draconic.
because we speak all a different version of common depending where we're from?
I mean, I'm assuming
technically the idea is that there's different dialects of common depending on where you go. That's actually real.
You can always go with Draconic, I speak it, and it's pretty voodoo. How many books would it be taboo for me to rent out?
What's that?
How many books would it be taboo for me to rent out at once? Of a library.
How many can you check out at one time?
I would say probably 4.
Can I ask for 6?
You can roll a persuasion check.
Just
I will
like
help.
6 of the prettiest looking, kind of most wow kind of books.
What are you doing
the
to
arcade.
What are you doing to help Moss?
Stand behind him
Just like
menacingly.
I mean, with a 23.
Uh,
Okay.
I just like I come back to like at the other end of the bookcase with a pile in my arms of like these please.
There's 2 giant metal men just raiding the fucking library.
And the librarian says, usually we only allow 4 books to be checked out.
Oh, but they're so cool.
And she says,
I'll take very good
"But
care of them.
as long as you bring them back when you're done and they're in good condition, I'll allow you this one time to check out 6.
Thank you.
And she says, please don't make me regret this.
I won't.
yes,
I feel like
Tony.
you will.
There's a deep feeling inside of me as a player that I'm definitely gonna regret that, but
Moss gives a deep bow, and then now, if I can find the rest of my books, and turns to Tony, are you good?
oh, I'm so good.
Moss would turn back. It's like, do you have any books on ancient craftsmen? Very, 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 very
He's
old
looped.
craftsmen.
He goes on saying very,
Very-
very, very, very.
And
I'm sorry.
and she begins to take you over to another section of the library, and you see that there are fairly thorough histories on certain craftsmen who have stood out in their time from different areas of the world.
I'm gonna go to the oldest, fucking most beaten, torn up, the one that looks like it is the one that like the old book that the librarian forgot is on the shelf.
The one that looks like a plot point in a movie.
Yes.
Like
You're going
cobwebs
down, it's
covering
all
it.
it's all pristine, and there's one it's like the cover's half rotted. Like I'm whatever the oldest looking one I can find is.
Okay, roll investigation.
I am going to look for someone to help me.
Can I help? I would like
I
to
would like to-
investigate as well.
I go to.
I'm not very
Hadrada.
good.
I go to Hadrada while Tony is beginning to read through his magic. As Tony gets up to help, he's like, "No, you focus on the magic.
Thank
Any
you. Okay.
questions?
Can I
Please ask."
help you? Can I help you
Moss
somehow?
turns to
Moss?
Talia. Can you
Okay.
find things?
Oh. You mean magic?
Actually, can I find things? Hold on.
So it was like a
Knowing-
deeper question.
I can. Okay.
I would
and
still
knowing
like
we
to
were coming
assist.
here, I
Why
would
do I
have
have gone off
prepared
truth
this.
2 times?
So, yes, Talia, you can, but
Oh.
I may also be able to find this as I read the specifics of the spell.
While he's reading.
yes.
Never mind.
Sorry. I am going to very quickly ask Talia for help and then help her look.
I'm
And
not
so I
looking
guess-
for anything.
Yeah, so I help you. I ask you to help me look. So you
Yeah,
look.
sure.
I'm asking. So I'm looking for the oldest book they have on ancient craftsman. It is in this section. Can you help?
Yeah, I can certainly try helping you.
So I will assist Talia in looking for my book.
Okay, so yeah, Talia, roll investigation at advantage.
Investigation at advantage.
Nice. Just in case.
Wow.
And at the same
That
time,
helps.
as we are looking and walking around, can I ritual cast this? I can't.
Thunderwave?
I'm just going to cast Locate Object. And I am going to look for a book on a craftsman that is at least, let's go for 750 years old, if not older. But 750 is the threshold I'm going for.
It's an old book.
So any object within 1,000 feet of me, I'm just gonna scan around and see if I can find.
It would be funny if the book wasn't the library, but just some random house around the library. I mean, it's near the castle.
Yeah, so doing that, like, nothing pops off at you. There's nothing nearly that old.
Books.
No.
Alright, so
Is
then
there like
just,
reprints of old books?
just the oldest one that Talia and I can find together then.
Okay,
Whatever the oldest one they got is.
so on a 14, there is a book you find about a craftsman named Hjalmar Hammerfall.
Can you give me a quick spell on that one?
Hjalmar.
Hjalmar.
HJA
Knew it'd be a HJ.
LMAR
R.
Hammerfall.
Alright, and how do you spell that one?
Hammerfall. God, that's some fucking badass names, man.
Hjalmar.
Craftsman book. Alright, so I am going to take my Flora and Fauna of the Feywild Visitor's Guide, Myths and Mythologies of the Feywild, and Hjalmar Hammerfell. Starting with myths and mythologies of the Feywild. Scrolling through, going between. I am just going to like scan and see if there's anything that, say, flicks a switch, shall we say, and if not, anything that matches or looks similar to the images that I saw when I first read the first Feywild book and got those images, or it's going to be a weird one, any depictions of a very large metallic figure, any stories, anything traversing through the Feywild. That's what I'm looking for in myths and mythologies.
Okay, so looking through that, you find that there are beings known as Archfey who are considered very old, borderline gods of that realm. Flipping through it, you see an entry about entity of some type named Baba Yaga.
Really?
I'm on fucking board.
Who is described as the mother of hags.
And is that an Archfey or is that separate from the Archfey?
No, that is Archfey.
That's one of the Archfey.
Listed within that section, yes.
Are there any names that stick out?
Yes, there is one who was named Verenestra.
Verenestra. Just get a quick spell on that.
VER.
Got it.
EN.
Yeah.
ESTRA.
DRA. God, you're fucking killing it with the names, man. Alright, Verenestra. Who's this?
She is noted as being called the Oak Princess.
Oak Princess.
And there is a sketching of her, and there are elements that seem very similar to yourself. She's not made of metal, but she is made of celestial light, but has certain mosses and different almost fungus from growing out from her.
Interesting.
And it's a very similar aesthetic to yourself.
Moss puts a little note on that one. Continues reading through these archfey.
Going through, there is another one that is named Hearsome. And he is denoted as the Prince of Fools. And there is a sketching of him as well. And he looks almost like a human goat hybrid with like horns coming out of his head. And something of note that you also notice is that he is playing a viola, which looks very similar to yours. It has a similar aesthetic. It's made of almost raw tree wood with little branches and moss covering it. And seeing the sketch, you feel something kind of shake loose.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Flashback time!
We can go to one-on-one for this if you want, or
Yeah,
however you
no,
want to do it.
let's do one-on-one for a little bit longer.
Yeah,
A
okay,
little bit
flashback
more.
time.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright,
So, yeah. So, looking at this picture of this archfey known as Hearsome, the violin or the viola is really what catches your eye of all of this. In fact, kind of pulling your own out and looking at it, you see that it's almost identical to what's in the sketch. And as you're doing this, you kind of get like a white flash and kind of go off to another place for a bit. Your metallic body, it almost seizes up, and your eye lenses are just kind of moving and zooming in and out and kind of calculating as this is all going on.
Alright.
You are still seeing through your own perspective in this vision, and you see that you're surrounded by greenery similar to the vision you had that showed you all of the nature shots and the fauna growing around, or flora.
Is it the same landscape?
Yes.
Fuck. Oh, my God.
And you see that the deity from the sketch is there with you, and you can see him talking to you, but you don't hear the words. And he has a very serious, almost somber look on his face. And you see him like kind of nod at you and hand you the viola off of his person. And you see like your own metallic hand like take it and stuff it into your bag. And then the white flash happens again, and you're back in the library.
All right. So if you go and hop out, I'll get Hadrada.
Okay.
That was fucking sick. All right.
Good sick or bad sick? Like,
Yes.
Radical.
Radical.
It was
Fucking
disgusting.
gnarly.
There was blood everywhere. It was a sea of corpses.
That was crazy. Moss doesn't even have any blood. Where did it all come from?
We're in
Who
the
said,
blood realm again. Are we getting another?
who said it's moss blood? Okay, we still have 2 more books to go through before I can harass the librarian.
He saw
True.
a Godzilla-sized corn in his vision.
No, so just after that one, Moss puts all of the books back and doesn't give a fuck about the other books. Puts his note back. Tony, because Moss would have been reading next to Tony after finding all of his books. Tony, you would have noticed Moss reading the book, and then all of a sudden his entire kind of physicality shaking for a moment, and then going back to that that mode you saw him in before you all went down into the secret tunnel, where he's just
Blue screen mode.
snapped
Almost seized
eyes.
in a way.
Yeah, no, everything unmoving except the lenses of his eyes, like going very quickly, reading through this book. And then in the middle of reading this book, you see him very methodically, only the arm moving, reaching into his bag and pulling out that very gnarled, very wild-looking viola, and looking at the viola, and then looking at the book, and then looking at the viola, and then looking at the book, and then looking at the viola, and then looking at the book, and is now just there in this kind of loop, thinking and processing and staring at this fucking book and staring at his viola.
I kind of give him like a knowing look of, oh, it's this again. And I turn to the librarian and say, he's very appreciative, thank you.
And she says, "You're welcome," and begins walking back to her desk.
I'll stay with Moss to make sure no one like graffitis on him while he's having a moment.
Please, I am.
By the way, do I know the librarian? Because I'm assuming I've stolen at least 1 or 2 books from the library.
Have
That
you
sounds like-
ever been
Roll a history
in the
check.
library?
I don't know. Part of the
Jurgen's
thieves
probably
guild.
been in the library just to get a kick out of stealing books.
I mean, if the library has an archive, I'm sure some crazy historian would pay the thieves guild to get some. 11.
Fueling the kleptomaniac flames at an early age.
Gotta start young.
I would say you haven't really been to the library often in your life. Really, not even to like steal a book. Books are something that you've never really bothered with.
Books
Oh,
are
no,
for
not-
nerds.
oh, no,
Concerned with big
not
game.
Not stealing them for myself, stealing them for someone else because someone wanted to have them. Whatever.
Well, why wouldn't they just go check them out?
It's
I
a
don't know because
library,
they,
you get them
be-
free.
Yeah.
because they want to keep them and Loki don't
then
want
just
them so
don't
theirs
turn them
get
back
traced.
in.
Yeah, just don't go back to the library.
Yeah, but the
It's a
thing is,
library, it's not a bastion of protection.
here's the thing: if that guy gets the book, checks it out, and doesn't show up, they know who the guy is.
There is a single old lady running this shop.
the librarian contracts
It's
the
me,
height.
man!
The librarian.
Don't underestimate. Trust me. Don't underestimate old ladies.
I
Oh,
will
you've got a point
murder
there.
them.
The elderly librarian contracts the Hydra's head after people who don't bring the books back.
He took a
See?
book!
I
Hasn't
want
returned it in 14 days! I would
want
want it!
No, I do.
his fucking spine.
I do want better. The librarian is one of the founding members of the Hydra's head.
God.
Level
The
20 assassin.
This poor old woman is actually Baron Blackfield, whatever the fuck.
front. Right, man.
Yeah, there
This
you go.
guy.
Like face makeup.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Okay, so she doesn't look familiar at all, or just do I know her about her existence but never bothered to talk to her?
I mean, you've seen her around town, but you've never had like an interaction with her really before.
Okay.
You're aware of her existence.
Okay.
basically.
I'm going to ask her. Hey, do you have any books on like rare creatures, maybe trolls specifically, and also dragons?
And she says, yes, we do. Here, follow me. And takes you kind of close to where Moss and Tony are, kind of within that same sort of line of bookcases.
I'd like to outline that Tony is stood in front of Moss to try and hide him from view of everyone.
Okay.
Okay.
And says,
Virgo
yes.
walks by and is like, huh?
And says, yes, here you'll find many books about the different creatures you may come across in your travels.
Okay. Thank you. I say thank you in orc, because well, fuck not. She's a half orc. She'll understand maybe.
Yeah, no, she does, and kind of gives you like a, like kind of the nod look, like, oh yes, thank you. I haven't heard the old tongue in years. Essentially, is what she says back in Orcish.
No.
So yeah, roll an investigation check for whatever you're looking for.
I mean, books and rare creatures that might or might not have spirit trolls in it, and also dragon. books about dragons. 15.
Okay.
Yay.
So yeah, you do find a book on trolls, ogres, ogreids, and giants.
Well, I'll read that one.
And you also find not like a thorough or extensive book, but a book on basic dragon knowledge.
Okay, I read the books about trolls, ogres, whatever first.
Okay, so you are flipping through the book, and you find a entry about the trolls, and you see that there are passages describing the trolls' hatred for fire and acid, and that they are known to regenerate if they haven't been injured by fire, flame, acid, anything that kind of burns them. Flipping through more, you see that there are several other trolls. One looks like it has almost like electric green, like bloated tumor growing off of it.
Gross! What's
Disgusting.
And they are known as rot trolls. And they have the ability to poison their prey while also being resilient to poison as well.
Okay.
Going through further, you find a section on something called a spirit troll,
Nice.
which is what you're looking for. And besides describing how incredibly rare they are to find, you read that really the only way that it happens is when a troll is being fought by a mage or a wizard or some other practitioner of magic, and is introduced to very strong psychic energy. The energy is known to essentially rip the troll from its human form and leave it as almost like an ethereal shadow of itself. But it is still physical in nature to a degree.
Okay. Where do I find them?
It says that trolls can be found high up in the mountains, or they also frequent swamp areas.
Oh no. Yes,
So,
continue. Or is that...
yeah, so it just kind of it tells you that they can be found in swampland, even forested areas, and high in mountains.
Okay.
They have been seen mainly in like Ethevon, Esdale, Finnebear. There aren't really many accounts of trolls in places like Vudar, where it's very hot and arid.
Have I ever heard of a troll?
Roll a history check.
I mean, probably from when I asked if you all guys know about trolls.
What the hell is a troll? You have no
That was
idea.
the first time I was today years old when I learned about trolls.
Like, the name doesn't even sound familiar. Just saying the name, it's
Roll.
like
I think it's
foreign.
spelled TROWL.
Yeah, it's very foreign
Troll.
coming
What?
out of your mouth.
Spirit trolls are trolls that possess other people to make them do stupid shit. Okay, anyway. Dragon book.
It's like a Canadian saying sorry instead of
Mhm.
sorry.
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 Grow.
Dragons, dragons, dragons.
Okay, yeah. So, you begin looking through the book on dragons. Are you looking for details about the copper dragon specifically, or just
No, I'm
dragons in general?
I'm looking through the dragon rainbow because we could run to all of them, and I want
I
to
was
be prepared.
told bronze earlier. Is it bronze or copper?
We were told it was bronze, brass, or copper. The dragon egg we looked at. However, the dragon scale we needed was only one of them.
Yeah,
So what scale do we need?
bronze.
We need a bronze scale. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
making sure I had that right in my notes.
So you begin thumbing through the pages, and the first section is about a species of dragon called chromatic dragons. And listed under that section are red dragons, blue dragons, black dragons, green dragons, white dragons as well.
Okay, what's the
I
special
just
about the
said-
chromatic dragons?
Talia just sits somewhere in the library and just like,
Talia's the only one not getting books. She just got a boba in the corner. Bored as shit.
Talia's using the libraries as like rented computers.
No.
Talia's like, fucking nerds.
Just got any games?
like,
Can I pull up addicting games on this?
Got any games on your computers?
Why is it blocked? Why are you blocking addicting games?
Reading further into the section, you see that these species of dragons, the chromatic ones, they're all pretty generally listed as like evil creatures. Reading through all of these passages, you can't really find like a redeeming trait about any of them.
Does it say why they're assholes, or does it just state they're
Yeah.
assholes generally?
No. It says that, like, for example, red dragons are known to be greedy and chaotically evil aligned. They're only interested in their own well-being and the treasures of others. Black dragons are known to be just the most vile-tempered and cruel of all the dragons, being known to play with their food before they kill it and just be very malicious in nature, often holding a grudge until the person who slighted them has died. The blue dragons are considered to also be very greedy and are known to trick mortal folk. They use hallucinations to kind of torment and trick common people. The green dragons are considered to be extremely territorial and deceptive. They are known to have a love of secrets and intrigue, and are considered lawful evil. They love combat and are known to be extremely cunning and quick on their wings, I guess. They think very quickly and are usually a good step ahead of whoever their adversary is.
Okay. Does it say anything about the elements? Because Drogon wouldn't know that.
About what?
Elements of the different dragons, like red is fire or something, I don't know. Neither does Drogon. Except for
Also, white dragon.
being
You forgot
acid.
white dragon.
Yeah, white.
Yeah, white dragons are... They're very cold emotionally. Yeah, pun
Zing.
intended.
Is that bit written in italics?
Yeah, but they are considered chaotic evil and are known to be extremely feral in nature, being more inclined to attack rather than try to torment or try to get something out of the person trying to either steal from them or kill them or whatever the case might be.
Like the closest to an animal, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're considered very feral.
They're beastly.
going back through, you see that red dragons are known to have fire breath. They are known to live in warmer temperatures. Black dragons, as you know, have a corrosive acid breath. Blue dragons are known for lightning breath, and are also known as storm dragons because of this. Green dragons use a poisonous gas breath weapon, which kind of mirrors their lifestyle because they're known as almost like a poison creature. You know, anywhere it goes, that's just the root of any problems that might be in that area.
Okay.
Not our dragon problem.
And white dragons are known as frost dragons or glacial worms, and they have a frost breath weapon.
Okay.
Is that worm YRM or worm the insult WORM?
No, like WYRM.
All right. I wasn't sure
Oh,
if they were like
worm.
actually calling them worms.
Oh, worm.
Diet dragons.
Yeah, the
Hey,
dragons.
dragons.
Fucking love dragons, dude. Dragons are the coolest.
Same here. I don't like them
Dragons
when they're
are
trying to
awesome.
kill me.
Alright, the frost
Nah,
dragon
they're
is the
the
coolest dragon.
Dragons are
Dragon.
cool.
That bit's written in italics as
fuck
well.
off.
I wish I was dragon.
I want a dragon to be flying over me and to eat me. That's what
Same.
I
Oh,
want.
mood. Oh, mood.
So, continuing through, you start a new section of a subspecies of dragons called metallic dragons.
Ooh.
And whereas the previous ones you read about are considered all to be evil in nature, the metallic dragons, it seems like, are known to be more personable and cooperative with
Cool
mortals.
dragons.
Talia is probably not so
Radical
subtly like
dragons.
leaning over Durgan's shoulder and reading with them. Like, huh, dragons.
Drogon's probably also taking notes to for different info because they won't remember this shit.
So gold dragons is the first one that you read about, and they are known to be the most powerful and majestic of the metallic dragons. They're essentially the polar opposite of red dragons, even having a fire breath as their main form of attack. They are considered to be wise, lawful good, and foes of evil and injustice.
Fucking
On the-
nerds.
On the same token, they're also known to be very knowledgeable and reclusive, though, so they're very rare to come by.
Told he's a nerd.
Nerd.
Oh my god, librarian is actually a gold dragon. Okay,
No, every D&D player is a gold dragon.
The next one that you read about is silver dragons.
Okay.
They are considered lawful good creatures and are seen as very regal, even among the gold dragons. They're known to take a humanoid form and live among humans and elves. They would be considered the opposite of the white dragons, as they have the cold breath as well. And they're normally known to have their lairs in very high, cold-temperatured mountains. And in some ways, they're almost pacifists, preferring not to fight unless their lives are directly threatened.
Okay. How many red drugs do we have to go through?
The rest of the metallic.
I mean,
Fair,
yeah,
but how
they're-
many metals are there?
Or
How many
three more?
metals are there?
Bronze, copper, brass, mercury, iron, steel, and platinum.
Okay, fuck it, give me the bronze dragon, that's about it.
Okay.
Brass dragons sing
Yeah, just
incredibly well.
give me a lore dump in text after session so I can put it in my notes.
Okay. So you said bronze.
Yeah. At this point, Durgis is not in the mood of reading anymore of that one other book.
We're gonna probably like starts flipping through, and Talia's like, "Oh hey, I wasn't done reading."
You
Um,
can read the book after me.
Dragon schmagons.
So bronze dragons are known to be very inquisitive. They have a very fierce-looking appearance and a fascination for warfare. They're known to often seek out to fight evil, and have historically been known to take a humanoid form and join good aligned armies who are under threat of great evils. They can be found in higher mountains and forested areas, and also coastal plain areas.
So like
And-
most places.
Yeah, well, except deserts and like tundras and
And your local corner store.
Arctics, like Arctic type
So-
areas.
Okay, so
High
basically we
mountains,
can.
plains, forest, and coastal areas.
Okay, so you're telling me we can basically find them in Wintervale, around Wintervale, because it's.
Well, Wintervale
We have
is more
mountains here.
icy. That's probably
Well,
more
we have
silver
mountains
and-
here. We have mountains here and
yeah,
forest.
But ice mountains. Is what it sounds like. This place is all cold and snowy and shit. Yeah. So it's gonna be a lot of silver, a lot of ice. I don't know about bronze though.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah.
We do
Oh,
have an
striking.
email army approaching, though.
They tend to not really be in like frigid climates.
And what's the breath and alignment?
They're considered lawful good, and they are the opposite of blue dragons having a electrical breath weapon similar to them.
Oh, yeah, fucking dragon. I'm gonna have to add a dragon section to my notes now. Fuck yeah. The best kind of section to add to your notes.
Okay, I need to make more professional sounding notes, because this is just a mess.
Oh, you should see my dudes for my notes for my
My
Monday.
dudes.
My dudes.
My
It's
dudes.
Wednesday, my dudes.
What's up, my dudes?
You should see my notes for
Just
my
talking like
for my
me.
Monday. For my Monday session, like I write the stupidest shit, and I still get like I still will remember what we did.
I take better notes for D&D than I did in school back in the day.
Well, that's
Oh, I feel-
rude. That is such a
Yeah.
mood.
Like
I
literally,
agree.
I wrote dragons, chromatic dragons, generally assholes for some fucking reason.
I missed most of the chromatic because I was taking a piss, but I literally wrote down every single
Mhm.
thing Mike said for gold, silver, and bronze.
Like how Mike
mean-
also said he takes better notes, but Mike is the DM.
Yeah, Mike is the notes.
Like, you made all the notes.
Mike is
I mean, I can send the chromatic dragons in the chat later or now. I mean, it's just my bullshit notes, but it's something.
Yeah, chromatics have a superiority complex, I think. That's
Yeah.
their problem.
Chromatic dragons are mostly
they're
dicks.
just
Chromatics are
assholes
assholes.
in general.
Fucking.
I have a soft
I was
spot for
about-
blue
I-
dragons,
I
though.
was about to make
Yeah,
a really,
me
too.
really
Inevitably.
bad joke. I should not make that joke. Also,
Aragon.
we're not recording.
Blue.
Huh?
Was it because of Aragon?
It's because they're blue.
Well, yeah. that's-
Aragon too, though. 100%. Fuck blue
No,
dragons.
yeah. Also, Aragon, but.
I hate black dragons
they're
because of
blue.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh,
That
God.
ass. Like 100%. That's why I hate black
Yeah.
dragons.
I always like black dragons because of Maleficent.
I don't like black dragons because they killed my dad.
I mean, your dad came back to
He got
life.
better though.
Yeah, but that's not a reason I like black dragons. That's a reason I like
Yeah.
moths. Black dragons are
so,
still assholes.
so
Anywhoosies.
was anybody else looking for any books?
No, Tyler's
is everyone,
you know,
like,
just
booked
spacing
out?
through.
Tyler's
being,
looking for a
like,
juice
on-
box.
Okay. So yeah.
Let me just.
Wait a second. Important question. I need to. I want to flip through the dragon book again. Is there any information on whether dragons shed their scales or not?
Okay, so
They're
reading through it,
lizards.
looking through it, you see that there is no record of them shedding their scales.
Fuck.
Oh, also let me just one moment.
So yeah, with all of your books in tow, then, Are you
Focus all down.
leaving the library, or are you like checking out the books, like there to read and then putting them back and then leaving?
Moss puts back
I'll-
all of his books except for the Myths and Mythologies one.
Okay. So yeah, doing that, we'll go ahead and take a break. And welcome back. Coming back from the break, everybody had just gone to the library and looked through different books of whatever interests they might be having at the moment. Some on dragons, some on different realms, some on magic. And with armful of books, they begin to make their way out of the library.
May I ask which books I got?
Which ones did you take?
I got
Yeah.
6 cool-looking books on magic. I didn't read them in the books library. I almost said books library. Yeah, that's a place.
I read
didn't
them
read them
in
in the
the
library.
books.
I didn't read them in the library. I just picked up ones that seemed quite cool and interesting.
So you found one on divine magics.
Cool.
One of the other ones you got was a book on sorcery. One was a book on basic cantrips of different classes. And the last one was one of the books on Baccarat.
Nice. Neato. Thank you.
Definitely. So, what are y'all doing now?
To the magic shop.
Indeed.
Okay. So, you are heading back to Uramir's, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What is Uramir shop called? I wanted to get that from my notes.
The Mystic Fire Enchantment.
Mystic Fire Enchantments.
Of course you'd know that.
I don't know if it was Mystic or Magic, and my brain was like, come on.
Mystic Fire Enchantments. And I do want it to be noted that I have him marked as Tony's boyfriend in my notes.
Not my boyfriend!
I get it.
You guys walk in and he slaps Tony on the ass like, "Thanks for last night."
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Was there something you didn't tell us from last night?
Maybe.
Or is it gonna be like, like Tyler will probably like play the wingman, even though Tony probably doesn't want to
So he's
wingman.
completely unaware of this.
But yeah, you make your way back to Uramir's and walk in.
Yeah! So
And,
go through the door.
He is not behind the counter at the moment, but you hear like moving around from the curtain beyond the counter. And he comes out, still kind of dressed in his sleeping robes, awake, but definitely not like ready and prepared for the day.
Mhm.
And
How hungover does he look?
he looks fairly hungover. Here, let me roll something real quick.
That one.
No, like a 9, so he's not doing so hot.
Do I notice this coming in?
What's your passive perception?
10.
No, you would not.
How about passive 18?
Yeah, but the passive of 18 for sure.
The Moss walks up and gives a soft wave and then starts doing quick conjure and hits him with a lesser restoration.
Okay, and as you do, you see him kind of not hold his head so tightly, and he's like, "Oh, thank you so much." Well, I felt like shit there for a little bit.
Moss gives a deep bow. It happens, apparently, and then turns to Talia.
And you see like a round of ceramic mugs on the counter, and he comes out with like a teapot looking apparatus and starts pouring up some what smells to be coffee.
Nice.
And he says, "Help yourselves if you need it. I know I certainly do."
I couldn't turn down coffee. You hear me? And I'll take a sip.
Moss takes some as a courtesy.
Okay.
Yeah, Talia takes some coffee.
I'm
Like,
not
also,
drinking
like-
strange liquids.
The cup
like-
goes underneath the plate and then comes out, and the cup is empty. You don't know how it got empty.
And I was
You
like,
share
no,
a-
like, Talia was like patting, like rubbing an arm, like I don't think she can rub an arm around Tony because he's so tall, but like she like pats
I
Tony
can
on,
lift you
on
up.
the
I can lift you up. Don't worry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Pats him on the shoulders, like, well, Tony, don't you want
You
to
bring it.
say hello properly? You know,
The
like we
most
talked about.
unsmooth wingman in history.
Yeah.
Do
Hey
you wanna, like,
there,
Talia's
buddy.
never done this before. She's also only got this done too.
just
pushing
a
him
recommendation.
pushing him
Don't have to
closer.
use this. Just a recommendation. Do you wanna like have Talia roll stealth on that?
Or is that more deception? Because it's
Ooh.
talking.
So pushing him close, and she's like, "Yeah, you know, like we
Wanna
talked
fucking
about."
Say hi.
Like-
Moss like does a gesture of like holding out his hand.
Yeah, like
It's like, oh,
Talia's
So you two are essentially like trying to force this to happen, like right now between your very eyes,
Tony's like
right?
really confused for a moment.
Before your very eyes.
trying to give tips.
Talia, don't force Tony to do something he doesn't want to.
No, I'm not trying to.
What's
I-
your is? What am I getting from your mirror?
No means no.
Well, yeah.
A quick like vibe check on Yaramir, checking him up and down. How's he feeling after hitting him
Stop
with a
checking
lesser
out your man.
restoration?
Checking him up and down.
That's Tony's job.
Lesser restoration, a bit of coffee. How's he doing?
Yeah,
That's how he's hanging.
he looks a lot better. Yeah,
By
he looks
his neck.
more alert and less groggy.
Does he look interested? Looking at him, looking at Tony, looking at him, looking at Tony, looking at him, looking at Tony.
Totally, Talia also goes like this, like looking at him.
Talia's like whispering to Tony, being like, "Come on, grab his hand." And Moss is just staring at Yaramir, staring at Tony.
I imagine
Staring
like
at him.
Yaramir and Tony are just like looking at each other talking, while Moss and fucking Talia's giggling in the background like children.
And while you
Yeah,
guys are being awkward as fuck, I'm just checking out my notes in the dragons because I don't want to be part of this.
I mean, I would say like Yaramir seems to be engaged with all of you and not just like Tony specifically.
Thought you were gonna say to another man.
He's got a
Yeah,
ring.
he's
So
actually
Moss,
engaged.
what pleasantries are
A male
exchanged,
Goliath
yada,
comes out
yada.
from the back curtain. Like,
Got a towel on. That's it.
puts his arm around him.
Sup, babe? Smack him on the ass. No, pleasantries exchange, sipping coffee. Moss goes, "Have you had a chance to extend the cloak as we discussed?"
And he kind of starts rubbing his head a little bit, and one of his gnomish assistants comes out from another room in the shop, and you see that he's holding the cloak folded up, and he says, "Hey, boss, the cloak's done." And Yaramir just he's like trying to think and remember. He's like kind of rubbing his temples a little bit. He's like, "The cloak? What are you talking about?" And
Moss looks at him, and then looks over to the gnomish guy.
and the gnome says, "Yeah, remember whenever you got home last night, you went back into the workshop and just started working on this cloak like all night." And Yaramir's like, "I don't remember that. I was really intoxicated when I got back." And he said, yeah, no, it seems like maybe you were a little drunk, but it seemed to make you focus. You like worked on this thing all night."
Yaramir, that is rather kind.
Hey,
Very,
Yaramir,
very
that
deep
cloak-
bow.
That cloak won't blow up when he puts it on, right?
And he says, "Gods, I hope not."
One way
hope
to one way to find out.
I
And
take
Moss
a
walks over to
step
the
back,
gnome.
like a solid step, like a 2 solid steps.
I swear to God, when you
Um,
said the gnome walks in, I thought that as you were gonna say the gnome walks in, it's like, boss, we broke this.
Hey,
and
boss, it's shredded.
and you see the other gnomish assistant come in, holding like a rolled up parchment. He's like, "Here's the notes you were taking about it last night too," and hand it to Urimir, and he says, "Okay,
Can he
let's
even
see
read
what
his
I
own
did."
handwriting?
And you see him like kind of like trying to focus on. He's like,
This
"Oh
is like
God."
fucking transmutation.
never-
Enchantment.
Oh, this fucking bullshit spell. What the fuck?
And he's like, "Oh God, I never make any sense when I'm drinking and try to work." Let
No,
me
you
try
make
to-"
plenty of sense. Don't worry.
And he says,
I'm sure he doesn't.
Actually, Tony, as a quick note for you, when enchanters and wizards take notes, each one has their own unique encryption, so other wizards and spellcasters cannot steal or copy or plagiarize their work.
"Wow, that's cool."
Nah, that sounds like a stupid rumor. I'm sure some people could.
Would you care to look at mine? And he reaches in and pulls out a notes. His
I mean,
book,
I
and
can't do that, but I'm sure other people could.
he opens his notes, and it's literally just scribbles. It's nonsense. It's nothing. There's
Oh,
nothing in
that's
the
it.
book.
I like to
Um,
think they pulled out a book with literally scribbles in it.
It's like the pages have flakes of like dead plants and like slightly wet moss still in it.
Like, this doesn't
Moss.
even mean anything to Moss. It's literally just scribbles.
It's a book with random writing. It is a spellcasting book. That is it.
Moss, that's literally just the handwriting of my mom. Oh!
Given that I learned how to enchant things from Urimir, can I understand his writing?
If you can
I
read
would
it.
say, yeah, I would say probably not. It's not that it's like bad writing, but it's more like gibberish and like short term for certain things, and he's just kind of concentrating on. He's like, hold on, let me try to decipher this real quick.
He can't even read it.
He like takes a drink from his coffee and starts reading it. And he's like, okay, let's see, what did I do to this? Oh, okay. So I think I changed the enchantment on it. Let me see, what did I do? Okay, yeah. So basically, instead of a disguised self cloak, this will give you the ability to transform your being into one person you've seen or are familiar with once per day, humanoid.
For how long?
Once per
the whole-
day.
The whole point of this was to extend it.
Yeah, essentially it's going to be once per day until you drop it.
Oh, you beautiful fucker.
Alright, back off, Moss.
Moss says that.
Is Moss saying
That's
that?
Oliver. That is 100% Oliver
Okay.
saying it to Mike. Mike, I'll suck your dick for that cloak.
Can you take your notes?
What is this cloak dubbed? Does it have a name, or is it just Cloak of Disguise Self Plus?
No. The cloak itself is called, yeah, I really don't have a good name for it. Let me get back to you with, like, a catchy name for it.
Time for cloak
I mean,
of cloak name here.
The cloak of, quote, catchy name, unquote.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Urimir actually saying that.
Yeah, I was saying Yuri probably was drunk when he made it, so probably give it some weird fucking name.
It's
Right.
a cloak of badass bullshittery.
It's the cloak of I wanna be you.
Once per day
Cloak of Diet Changeling.
It's like
until dispelled.
the cloak of it does this cool thing. I don't fucking know.
Cloak, I don't fucking know, I wanna go
You
to
can do
sleep. What
so
is
many
this?
things with becoming
Into
someone else you know.
One humanoid you have seen or are familiar with. Have seen or are familiar with. Once per day until dispelled. And can, or I guess that's a question for Yermir. Can I still cast spells from within that form?
Once you do, the form will drop. It does
Oh.
act in such a way as minor invisibility. Any violent action you take, attack or anything like that.
Functions as
But
Can
what,
you cast
what about...
like
Non-violent
normal
spells.
No
spells.
casting. No, you can't cast. If
Okay.
if the rule set just functions as invisibility, but you know what's super fucked up? You know what I can still do?
Wild shape.
What?
Wild shape, because it's not a
Jesus.
spell.
Yeah.
So I can wild shape and go back in and still have the form. That is
Hilarious.
fucking bad. Once per day until the spell can change into one humanoid you have seen or are familiar with. Okay. And it's
So wait.
humanoid. Okay.
Yeah, it
okay.
has to
Question.
be humanoid. It can't be like. You know,
And
a
still
dragon.
attuned, I assume.
Yes.
Does the spell or whatever just or effect drop after 24 hours, like automatically if you just don't?
Yes.
Okay.
So up to 24.
Once you
until the
like,
spell.
once you like go to sleep for the night, it stops.
Yeah.
What if
Until
you don't sleep
dispelled.
though?
Or take
Moss
a
doesn't.
long rest.
Well, it goes off of
Yeah,
day.
Moss-
It's once per
Moss,
day.
no,
so
Moss
once,
still takes a long rest.
once
He does
within
have to-
like. Once within like a 24-hour period.
Okay.
Once the consecutive 24 hours starts, it drops.
Can we make that long rest and not like weird 24-hour rules so I don't have to keep track of time?
I mean,
Well,
I guess
yeah.
if you don't sleep, then.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Is it's
Okay.
like a long rest, but you know.
Just making sure, because it's like if you do that, because you know sometimes you get fucking dicked on. You have to take a long rest pretty quick. Alright, but yeah, so Moss takes it and says, "This is wow," and looks up to Vermeer.
And Uramir says, "Use it responsibly. Don't go trying to impersonate kings and people of power."
You wouldn't become a car.
Moss takes the cloak and holding it folded, very, very deeply bows. This is wonderful.
Told you it was the best.
Thank you, Yermir. Thank you. And like reaches up and puts it into his bag and grabs his hand, shakes it. This
And he-
this
he-
is wow. Yeah, no, it's just
And he shakes
constantly
back
mumbling.
and says, "Yes, anytime. I always try to do my best. So, anytime you need anything, you know who to come to. And hopefully, it proves useful for you on your travels."
You do not need to be hopeful. This most certainly will assist. Thank you. And just another very deep bow. And then turns and immediately puts it on and starts trying to attune to it. Because
Okay,
everyone else does what they need to.
cool.
Alright.
So yeah, what's everyone else doing?
I asked Yermia. So I know you were pretty hammered last night, but I'll keep my voice down for that line. I'm not gonna like advertise to everyone in his store. This guy was like smashed, but like you know, I know you're like kind of tipsy last night, but like did you work on anything for me? No. Helmet?
And he said, "Oh, I didn't really have time to get to it,
That's
Tony.
fine. Don't
I'm
even
sorry."
worry.
And he says, "But I should be able to work on it through today, and have it ready pretty quick." So
I have my utmost faith in you. And I take my helmet off and like swish my hair back gallantly as I place it on the table.
okay, cool. And he takes it and sets it back behind the counter.
It's the first time you've ever seen me without a helmet on.
Yes, I believe
Yeah, it is
so.
fine.
Yeah. And you see, like, just as soon as the helmet comes off, there's just like a kind of look from Yermir.
do I
Lit
notice with a
light
17
scans
past
up
the
and down.
perception?
With
Yeah.
how much is it?
17.
Yeah, I would say so.
She just
Fuck's sake,
starts
Mike.
grinning.
Moss,
She doesn't say
Moss
anything.
looks over at Talia. Because of the ATD
She
sees
like
it
gives
too.
she like gives him an eyebrow wiggle, like you know, like huh?
You get one lens zooms in really tight and then back out.
I swear to God, Talia and Moss are the #1 Ermi and Tony shippers.
Doesn't help that Mike's making it canon slowly.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Sounds like just character progression to me. It just sounds like some stuff's going on. Don't worry about it.
I'm dating. At the moment.
Mike's just got his 2 dolls making him kiss.
No, kiss.
Just like,
Urimir, you're so handsome. Oh,
just like the violent, like smashing kiss. Like, come on.
Okay, this started to get uncomfortable. Can we go back on track?
like flip one over. Like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'll step this close to leaving.
He's an innocent Christian boy.
I'm gonna take these
alive.
horses and rein it in.
Nice.
Oh, what's in this box? A Segway?
Are you all done?
Yeah, but...
And then they fucked.
Continuing,
Yeah.
I give him my helmet and say, I look forward to whatever you do with this.
And he says, "Okay, yeah, I'll get started on it as soon as I fully recover here."
Oh, take your time. You're a state, let's say.
Do their hand-
If when like Tony just grabs his helmet, there's just a loud clanking noise as his hands like just slam onto his helmet to take it off.
I was like, do their fingers touch when he hands him the helmet?
Ooh. I'll say no.
Damn it.
Hey, Yurmir, so are you moving shops or are you staying here?
And he says, "Well, from the way you've described things, I think I'm probably gonna end up moving shops. Yeah."
Okay, when are you
Depending- Oh, go on.
when are you planning on packing everything up? We can help.
And he
Yeah.
says, "Well, I have a few more like pending orders that I'm currently working on, and then after that, probably stop taking orders from people for now and get everything packed up."
Okay, that's smart.
Depending on how talks go with the Duke, it may not be necessary if they suss out who is problems. But hopefully, it won't come to that. But best be prepared.
And he says, "Yes, I agree. I'm not quite ready to part with being alive. So
Please don't. It's not
If
healthy.
that does become an issue, let me know within 10 days.
The party's all chuckling to themselves while Yurimir's like, wow.
On an unrelated note, Yurmir, I know it's not your fault, but this shopping list is bullshit. I mean, I'll try and get everything, but
I give Dirt like a little punch in the arm, lightly. Like,
And
he's doing his
Yurmir-
best.
Yurmir tells you, "Well, as I told you before, it's fairly rare stuff that you've got to get for it. So
yeah, I know. I signed
If
up
you
for this.
can
It's
get
still
it-
kind of bullshit.
He only uses the highest quality materials.
And he says, if you can get the things that I need for it, I'll gladly make it. But
We were literally just at the library and I researched where I can get most of this stuff. So, I at least know where to look.
He says, "Ah, well, you're one step closer then."
I guess everyone good and done.
I guess so.
No one else
Boss is
want
just,
any
like,
of Yurimir's
Adjusting
services?
his cloak.
He's like swishing it around.
It's like trying to adjust the neck thing. You can't quite get it locked in.
So,
Do you need help?
No. Then goes back. Keep trying to mess with it.
All
it's like,
right.
don't you touch my cape.
I can do it.
Step up, I will hit you.
I will turn into a fucking scorpion monster. Step back. So we go on
Yeah.
our way.
Tony says, well, I guess I'll see you. I'll come back soon. Yeah, for the helmet. I need that.
Moss pushes his back a little bit, so it kind of like forces him to go in for a hug. Doggo, shut up. Doggo wants it to happen too.
I fall forward onto the counter awkwardly.
Just like
Kid
awkwardly,
off
like
from
with his
behind the
arms,
counter.
like.
Hey Tony, you okay?
No, yeah, I'm fine. Sorry. I'm so embarrassing. I'm so clumsy. You're like a nervous giggle. Yeah, I'll see you later. Bye, Iron.
Hey Yumi, we're visiting the Duke now to talk about the current situation. Do you want us to keep you posted, or?
And he says, "Yes, that'd be nice. That way, I know what kind of time frame I'm working with."
All right. I mean, we know that the attack will probably be around like next week, 9 days, something like that. But
Okay.
anyway, we'll be going now.
Yes, we will. We will be going now.
If
I'll
we
be
don't
back
come
later.
back, we
You have 9 days
accidentally
to live.
incriminate
See ya.
ourselves.
Okay.
I'll be returning
we-
for your services later. I mean, my helmet. I mean, my metal head protection device. Bye.
Moss puts his arm around Tony and slowly guides him out.
He just
So
kind
he's
of
like
Oh,
grinning
wow.
awkwardly and waving.
waves all of you guys off as you go. Says farewell.
Bye.
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 Mm.
Okay. So yeah, you
This dog. The fuck?
Oh my god!
hey, it's Baz.
Onion. Dude, alright, I'm gonna mute for a little bit, I guess.
Spaz hasn't been mentioned for an episode or two.
Baz is just
Well, he
yelling
has
in
You
the
just mentioned
background.
Yeah,
this
it's been-
morning.
Yeah,
This
he
morning,
was.
yeah, you know.
That's right, yeah. He hasn't been fed in weeks.
Will
Oh,
you?
God.
Did you say he doesn't need to eat?
He's like chained up to a tree in the backyard.
He's just fucking
all the time.
skin and bone.
Mike.
He's like the first Charmander in the rain.
Yeah. But yeah, so you leave Yaramir's shop and
We
you begin walking in the direction of the looming castle of Wintervale.
Actually, as we start going that way and start heading for the castle, Moss chimes in. Is like, I believe before there was mention of payment. And kind of
Oh yeah, the brewery.
Oh, that's right, the brewery.
I
something else.
may have spent all of my coin on this cloak.
Jesus fucking
I'm
Christ.
I'm unsure of how coin works, but this seems worth the coin. You know, like kind of like tightens it up a little bit, like adjusts it.
Moss, from what you need to know about money is it's good if you have it, a lot of it.
What is a lot?
More than
A
500
high
gold.
quantity.
I believe most people don't have that.
Yeah, that's why. But it's good. It's always good to have more.
That's why it's good. Because you have
Fair.
more than most people.
Sure. And the entire walk to wherever this place is, Moss is attempting to attune to his thing.
Okay. So yeah, the brewery is actually not too far from the nicer tavern. So you begin heading that way, and you see a large stone building. That it almost looks warehouse-ish in nature, but a little bit smaller. And there is a wooden sign out front that says the Brandywine Brewery.
Fantastic. Oh.
You knock on the large like double wooden door.
Does enough time pass for me to attune?
No.
All right, so Moss just puts the hood up and tucks it, tries to hide himself a little bit.
Okay.
Back of the group.
And you knock on the door, and a minute or two later, it opens up, and you see that there is a large Goliath standing in front of you. And he kind of looks you up and down and says, "Yeah, what do you want?"
You give Durgan a nudge.
Fuck, what's this guy called again? I forgot his name. I need to take notes.
Was this Decta Ducor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
We're looking for Decta Ducor. We have some business with him.
And he says, "All right, follow me. The boss is upstairs." And turns around and begins like lumbering off towards a set of staircase that you see on the other side of the room. Looking around on this bottom floor, there's like large like wooden barrels and wooden vats and pretty much anything that would be needed for a large scale brewery.
Nice.
And
follow him on up.
you follow him up the stairs, and he takes you to a single door at the end of not so much a hallway because it's still in the main part of the brewery. You can like look down and see all the vats, but it's on like a walkway, pushed up against the inner wall, and takes you across that and goes to the door and knocks on it and says, "Hey boss, you got company." And you see Decta Ducor kind of open up the door and kind of look over and see all of you and says, yes. Come in.
Hello. Thank
Hi.
you.
Hi.
And he says, "Bran, it's fine. You can go back downstairs now. I was expecting them." And he says, "All right. Let me know if you need anything else." And begins like slowly lumbering back down the stairs. And he says, "Yes. I'm glad all of you came by." And he begins walking over towards his desk, and you see there's a large metal safe that he starts, kind of putting in the combination for, and opens it up.
Do I see what the combination is?
I knew it.
What's your passive perception?
13.
I will definitely say right now, Durga is actively trying to find the combination of this safe.
Yeah, and I'm not just passively maybe figuring out. I want to see what it is. Like I'm.
Okay. So yeah, roll a perception then.
Fuck.
Jesus
not.
Christ, my God. I can't believe
I'm
you
back
said-
for a perception check. Do I notice the thing that no one else could?
It's
Yeah,
not exactly in Moss's wheelhouse of morality.
Yeah.
What's going on?
He's opening his safe and Durga's trying to see the combination.
Moss would absolutely watch that. Like
Okay.
not even like metagaming. Moss would watch that.
Roll a perception check then.
12. What are they fucking
Wow.
for? I haven't rolled above a 6 tonight.
Moss sees like the first couple of numbers, but you can see that Mr. Ducor is like notice he's not fully covering like the number wheel and kind of readjusts himself in front of it and finishes doing
How
the
many numbers are there in
combination.
total?
You don't
wouldn't-
really know. Yeah. You would know there's at least 2, or Moss would know that there's at least 2, but beyond
What
that,
are
you-
those 2 numbers? PM them to me so no one else knows.
Okay, 1 sec.
I'm fucking with it. I don't care about the numbers. I know that I know 2 of them. I'm not going to stress over what the numbers are.
Okay.
I'm just going to mark that I know the first 2 numbers to a safe.
And you hear the click from the combination being put in, and he opens up the safe and pulls out 2 very large bags of gold. And I believe it was 500, right?
400.
500.
Okay, 500.
Hold on, I'm
I'm not
checking
gonna,
any.
I'm not
checking
gonna
anyways,
question
too.
Ducor's math.
As you look that up, can someone tell me how to spell this fucker's name?
Ducor. I believe it's. I'll type it in Roll20 actually. This is from memory of what I hastily scribbled down in paint. But I'm pretty sure it's that.
Yeah, something like that.
Decta. Okay.
Decta Ducor. This was a while ago. And I
I did spell the
can't
last name
find-
perfectly. That's good.
Yeah. I think I had an apostrophe in it, but I don't remember.
I
why.
heard Deck did though for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm pretty sure it's that.
So yeah, it would be 400 gold. And he sets one bag on the table in front of you and says, "That's 400 there." and then sets down another one in front of you too, and says, "And this is an extra 200 for
No, sort of
being so timely about it."
Oh,
Pushes it over
Decta.
to you.
you're too kind. You're too kind, sir. Thank you.
120 for everybody.
Thank you for matching.
And he says, you know, should you ever be looking for more work in the future, just come and talk to me, and I'm sure we
I mean,
can
do you have
probably
any other
something
work
out.
right now?
Yes, I'm told I need 500 gold. So more
No,
would
you
be
don't
good.
need, but like it's good to whatever.
Also looks at Target
It's
and looks back to the
preferable.
guy.
And he says, well, we are looking to expand to another territory as well. We're trying to look to strike a similar deal as we did in Santyn. We're trying to get up to Fenebar and see if we can open something up there as well.
I believe that we appreciate that offer and all, and I'm sure we'd love to do it if we had the time, because I think our priorities right now lay elsewhere.
Let us see where things lie after our conversations.
And he says,
Exactly.
yeah, yes, that's fine. Like I said, whenever you have the time and you need work, just come and find me.
Moss gives a bow from the back of the
Fantastic.
group.
And says, until then, you know,
We'll keep your offer in mind, Decta.
and enjoy your payment, and thank you for a job very well done.
I'll enjoy my payment and I'll enjoy your rum.
Everybody roll con saves. Not just kidding.
Poisoned gold.
I'll
what
do
was
it.
that? So that
you
was
wake up tied to chairs in a dark room with a single light.
that was
You
like
wake up hands tied
400.
in a cart in the woods.
You got 120 gold.
Okay,
120.
thank you.
There's a saw trap apparatus attached to you.
I divine smite it.
Would you like to play a game?
Oh god.
I love game.
Fight me, bro. If I need to
Games
unlock
are
something, then
That would literally be Moss's reaction.
What kind of games?
Scrabble? I'm good at Scrabble. I'm not good at
I'm
Scrabble, I'm sorry.
in.
Scrabble. But if you can't make a word within 10 seconds, you get a finger chopped off.
Oh god. Tony's losing some fingers.
You guys started with Saw.
And. Is that a word? Can I use and?
And we leave the brewery place.
Okay. Yeah. So, divvying up the gold and everything, you leave the brewery. You walk by Mr. Ducor's doorman, the large Goliath Bran, and he kind of opens the door for you as you go to walk out, and kind of
Thank
grunts, safe travel.
Talia, as we're like leaving, Talia goes like, "Have a nice day."
And you just hear like a, you too.
Can I check if if he's wearing a necklace or something?
Sure. Yeah. Roll a perception check.
Wow.
What the
Nope.
fuck?
What is
Phenomenal.
wrong?
2 in a
Today.
row!
Oh my god.
I
That's
can't
getting
believe this. Oh
screenshotted.
my god,
That's
Alex.
getting fucking screenshotted.
Ooh,
By
man,
the
that's
cop's holy name.
Hold
what
on.
the fuck?
Okay, it's fixed again.
bad.
I mean, he definitely didn't notice you trying to find out.
But no, you don't see anything like a necklace or anything like that on him.
You don't even think he has a neck.
Yeah, yeah. It's just shoulders straight to head.
Durgat casually forgets that necks exist.
While we leave, I'd like to give Moss 30 gold. As
Okay.
he is pretty skint.
Moss nods. Thank you.
Here's your
No
spending
problem,
money.
you need it.
One step closer.
Aw.
It's 30 steps closer.
And Moss just like takes it and just like loose change drops it into the bag of holding.
Okay, cool.
Nice. That means I'm back to over 300 gold.
One.
Okay, For reference, how much gold does anyone have? Everybody have?
I
There's a
have
7.
329.
I can guarantee you my amount of gold will be going down very quickly.
You know what's funny is when you left Wintervale the first time, you guys
We
all
were
had
rich.
like
We were rich.
1,500 gold.
Yeah, we were loaded, and then I spent it all.
Well, I mean, for the record, with how cheap Mike makes magic items, like 150
No,
is
yeah.
enough to get a good fucking. Like that's pretty all right.
To be fair, I'm still rich, and that's why I just say fuck it. I give everybody 100
To be
gold.
fair, 10
You
gold.
give everybody 100 gold? Are you
Yeah.
nuts?
I usually
There's
don't do
always a
this, but
hoarder.
you guys are my friends, and you need some money.
You just see
Oh, yeah.
300
that's
gold, I'm
good.
pretty good.
you just see like a single tear roll down Durgat's cheek as they like hand everyone a little bit of their own gold. Like the hand is trembling and like very hesitant to like drop it out.
Well, I am hesitant. I'm not feeling that bad about it because it's not like I'm not used to giving out money. I usually only do this with my mom, but apparently my friends have money problems, and like we've been traveling around for like months, so.
Fair enough.
There's just a sigh as they
Thank
just
you.
finally let go of the gold and it clinks into your hand. Just
And then that, but 3 more times.
Okay, you can do this. Here you go. Okay, you can do this.
No,
you go.
I'm a bit hesitant, but it's not like, again, it's not like I feel terrible about
Yeah.
it.
they
It's
try
like
to
when
like
you're holding the last coin, you hold on to it a little bit when someone tries to take it from you.
God damn it.
you like
Fine.
try to snatch it back out of one of their hands.
Nah.
Like no, it's mine.
No.
It's mine. It's
These
mine.
No,
broke
no.
fucks.
We're gonna...
Now we head towards
Why
the
can't I think of the name of the building?
castle.
Castle?
Castle, yeah, why did the word castle just leave my consciousness?
You live in
know.
England.
I
Come
know,
on,
I live in a... Honestly, the
I
people on the
were
other
you
side
about
of
to
the
say
moat,
you
if
live
they
in a
could say
castle?
this... If the people on the other side of the moat could see me now, I'd be ashamed. I
As
can't
long
get
as
over
the-
the turrets, so it's
honestly-
fine.
Honestly, as long as I still have more money than all of you combined, I'm good.
As long as I can
As long
kill
as
every
Hadrada
member
has
of the
the
party,
least.
I'm good.
As long as the Hadrada has the least, he says. Oh my god.
And we go to the Duke guy,
The castle.
the
Okay,
Castiel.
So yeah, you start making your way towards the looming castle.
Are there any magic shops on the way?
Roll invest.
We've just been to a magic shop.
I was
There's
gonna
not.
say I give you advantage, but Jesus fuck.
Can I
I have a
again?
reputation for having the worst investigation rolls.
Can Talia again start actively looking for familiar faces? Just looking for Ezio.
Yeah, roll perception.
Moss would
Initiative.
also, well, so there's
Yeah,
two
Roll
reasons now.
initiative.
Moss would A, be looking out for people coming and attacking the party, and B, looking at every single person's face and committing it to memory.
Of the party or
Well-
the people?
Like
Everyone.
people walking down the street, every single humanoid of
Time
everything
to
that
get
he
some
can see.
disguises.
He's just looking around, just being like, if I can turn into this.
Yeah. Moss is just making some fake passports in his brain.
Nice.
There we go. Finally got a decent roll.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll say that you find, or that you notice, like, a lot of the people and kind of take in their features as you're making your way towards the
And-
castle.
Are there any shady fucks following us?
No, there's not.
I mean,
Okay.
there's me.
They're not
Yeah, but we're
us.
following you. So.
Yeah.
Fair.
Lost travels at the back.
Oh no, you are following me. I travel at the front. Might be just followed by Durgan.
Just
Yeah,
two
I'm
giant metal men guiding this party.
I
The
w-
giant
wa-
metal men.
for reference,
It's
the
like-
only
3 people and then just clank.
the only reason why I'm not in front is because last time was when we were in the sewers in Wintervale. Then
Stepped
I
into a
walked
cube.
straight. Yeah, we walked straight into a gelatinous cube.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Not doing
I was like,
that
I'll take the
again.
lead, and you're like, yo, I'm gonna go up there with Tony. I was like, you wanna do that? Yeah. Steps into a Joanna's queue.
The wall always goes first. Rule number 1.
But okay, so yeah, you make your way towards the castle, and despite the times that you've been to Wintervale, maybe Durgat excluded, none of you have really ever gone to the castle before. You've noticed it kind of off in the distance, but you've never really had any reason to go there before. As you approach it, you see it's a very, very large castle. There are multiple spires, and there's almost like church-topped roofs that go around like on different sides of it. There's like multiple roofs and multiple buildings that kind of stretch off of the main structure, and some on the top story, some on the bottom. It's a very large, intricate castle. It is on a point that is overlooking the harbor and the frozen over ocean. And as you kind of walk up and get onto the elevated part that the castle is, you feel the cold breeze off of the ocean kind of lapping at you as you make your way towards the doors. And we'll go ahead and end it there for this week.
God damn.
Sound